After the Marines captured the Shuri Line, the Japanese would retreat to the southern tip of Okinawa. This would be their last stand.
Very seldom you'd ever get one surrender. You'd be in a situation where you just couldn't do any better. They killed themselves before they surrendered.
On June 21st, Marines of the 6th Division reached the cliffs at the bottom of the island. They were amazed that several thousand Japanese troops chose to surrender. The Battle of Okinawa was one of the most horrific conflicts in all of World War II. 90% of the island's buildings were destroyed. More than 150,000 Okinawan civilians would be killed in the crossfire. General Simon Bolivar Buckner and General Mitsuru Ushijima, the two opposing commanders, would die in the battle. Famed war correspondent Ernie Powell would also be killed while covering the fighting. Over 12,000 Americans would die in the battle, and 36,000 would be wounded. More than 100,000 Japanese soldiers were killed or would commit suicide. In August 1945, the Marines on Guam got the news that the atomic bombs had been dropped and that Japan had surrendered.
We all cheered and had a big time. They'd up raised cane for an extra hour or two that night. We immediately left and went to China. Tsingtao, China. Chiang Kai-shek troops were in China, the communist troops were in China, and the Japanese troops were in China, and neither one wanted to surrender to the other. So the Marines went to China, accepted the Japanese surrender, and shipped them back to Japan. Well, they were happy to see us because we were taking the Japanese off their hands. The Japanese evidently treated them mighty tough. Oh, they had a big parade. When we come in town, they would line the streets and cheer.
In 1946, Punch Parker would leave China, be discharged from the Marines, and come back home to Elizabeth City. He went back to work at the family business, got married to his sweetheart Maisie, and started a family. Punch Parker somehow managed to survive the indescribably horrific conditions as a frontline infantryman at the Battle of Okinawa. Considering the terrible sights and sounds he endured, he seemed remarkably well adjusted. His faith, courage, tenacity, patriotism, and sense of humor enabled him to pass through a firestorm of suffering and death relatively unscathed. Edgar Punch Parker was a true American hero.
During that 3 months on Okinawa, I had a lot of experiences I never want to have again. It let me know that this life is worth living and it's worth fighting for.